because I knew my brothers, my two elder brothers, were going to school. I heard about residential school. When they told me I had to go to residential school, I was happy. I wanted to go in. My mother took me. It must have been a Monday morning, I guess, and everybody was at school. So I sat with the supervisor of the boys by myself for the day. I was allowed, there was a big pile of comic books. That's what I read the whole day. She didn't bother me the whole day. And then the following morning, the supervisor called me to the office. I had long hair. I think it was braided. When I came out from that office, I was bald. Then I got myself a number. I don't know, I think I was number 3. That was my first number at residential school. I was always number 3. My clothes were always number 3. Yeah.
Did you ever see that electric chair?
Yep. I sat on it one time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a steel chair with a battery in the bottom, I think, and wires, and then you had to hang on to the bars here, and then you had to crank up the power. And we tried to hang on for as long as possible. I don't know how long it took, but I couldn't do it. It was too strong for me at that time. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember anybody being punished on it?
I don't know. Lots of things happened at school that I'm not aware of. Yeah. Even that whip was a miniature cat o' nine tail, I think it's called. It's just a short one, but it still has the steel things in it, and it could rip you apart. There were 3 boys that ran away. They were brought back. They were called every boys at the boys' room, and each boy got whipped in front of us, and right in the bottom, and it just ripped their skin. It made them bleed from broken skin. Yeah. There were all kinds of stuff we were exposed to. Not only the chair, not only the whip, other stuff too. Yeah. Whatever they can find, they brought it to the residential school. You know, it wasn't just physical abuse, sexual abuse that happened. There was also emotional, mental, and spiritual abuse. When I was there was a big windows in the boys' room. I could look out on the window, stand at the window, and I could see my house across the river every day. I was not allowed to run home to visit 6 days. I was only allowed to visit on Sunday afternoons for about 3 hours, and then I had to come back to residential school. I could see my house, my parents. I wasn't allowed to go. And that's like, you know, abusing a dog. Throwing a steak at a dog, you go through it and you pull it back. Well, that was the way I thought. How come I can't go home? It's only there. That's emotion. I was not allowed to learn emotion or even love, I guess. My brothers were not allowed to associate with me. I guess one of them was in the intermediate, the other was in the senior grade, but we were not allowed to mix. We were separated in the age categories. Even my sister was across the room, but we were not allowed. And we were not allowed to visit our parents, only on Sunday afternoons for 3 hours. And if they were busy with other community stuff, we could only sit at the house waiting for them to come home. By the time they come home, I had to be back at the residential school. That's what they were doing, and you could, there was no Cree language speakers who were working there, like supervisors, teachers. They were all English-speaking people. You couldn't learn the language. And even the students that were there were just speaking English because most of them were happy to be speaking English. They didn't want to learn. They weren't proud to speak Cree. For some reason, I was able to maintain the Cree language. I was always using it, and the other kids were laughing at me because I couldn't speak English. Yeah, that's what happens. There was no effort to maintain the Cree identity. You were made fun of if you identify with the bush. They just wanted you to turn white. They showed us the difference. There was no equal treatment. There was always superior, inferior teachings. Well, I always hear about that word reconciliation, but I never understand that word. Even if someone explained it to me, it just goes one ear and out the other. So I don't know what that word means, reconciliation. There's ways of maneuvering around that big word, that reconciliation word. They can't even shake your hand, they can't even hug you, they don't want to do anything with you to show family love. It's not there. It's just two strangers meeting together and saying, yes, how are you? And that's it. You don't even bother to answer, how are you? Because they don't care, how are you? So no use trying to answer that question. So I just said, I'm fine, thank you. They don't care.